Okay, so get this right. We're diving into a future where our smartphones might be as obsolete as a rotary phone. I know, sounds crazy. But Mark Zuckerberg is actually predicting that within the next decade, smart glasses will be our main portal to the digital world.
Yeah, you sent over some really fascinating articles on this, so let's unpack what's fueling this prediction and what it could mean for you.
Yeah, it's interesting you mentioned the rotary phone because Zuckerberg's prediction isn't coming out of nowhere. He's drawing parallels to these massive tech shifts. We've already seen, right? Remember when landlines were everything? Now they're practically relics.
Yeah.
Zuckerberg and other tech giants are betting that smartphones are on a similar trajectory, eventually being replaced by something more seamlessly integrated into our lives.
Okay, yeah, I'm starting to see the logic here. But replacing something as central as the smartphone, I mean, that's a bold move. What makes these companies so confident that smart glasses are the next big thing? Well, the articles you shared highlight the incredible advancements in augmented reality, or AR, and artificial intelligence, also known as AI. These are the real driving forces behind this potential shift. We're talking about glasses. They're an overlay, digital information, onto your real-world view. Imagine walking down the street and seeing directions projected right onto the sidewalk, or instantly getting information on a building just by looking at it.
Oh, wow. That's a whole new level of interaction.
Yeah.
But how does AI fit into the equation? Is it about more than just displaying information?
Absolutely. AI is what will make these glasses truly smart. We're not just talking about a heads-up display. We're talking about glasses that can understand your voice commands, anticipate your needs, and even offer real-time translations. Think about the possibilities. Having a seamless conversation with someone, speaking a different language, with subtitles appearing right in your field of vision.
Now, that's what I call breaking down barriers. But let's dive a little deeper into the tech behind this. The articles mention something called SLAM. What's that all about?
SLAM stands for simultaneous localization and mapping. It's a critical technology for AR experiences, allowing your smart glasses to understand their surroundings and accurately place digital objects within that environment. Basically, SLAM helps your glasses see and interpret the world around them, making those immersive AR experiences possible.
So it's like your glasses are building a real-time 3D map of your environment. That's incredibly complex.
It is, and it requires some serious processing power. One of the biggest challenges for smart glasses is miniaturizing all this technology into a lightweight, comfortable design, but the progress being made in chip technology and sensor development.
That's really impressive.
Yeah, that makes sense. It's like how smartphones themselves have evolved. Remember those clunky first-generation devices? Now we have incredible processing power in our pockets. But speaking of smartphones, where do they fit into this picture? If smart glasses become the norm, are they really going to disappear completely? It's a fascinating question. Zuckerberg and others believe smartphones will become secondary devices, much like landlines are today. Think about it. You probably only use a landline in specific situations, while your mobile phone is your go-to device for everything else. Could smartphones become the landlines of the future, used for specific tasks, while smart glasses handle the majority of our digital interactions?
It's a mind-blowing shift to think about. But let's be honest, not everyone is going to be thrilled about strapping a computer to their face. The articles also mention some pretty valid concerns.
You're right. Skepticism is completely understandable, especially when it comes to privacy. Smart glasses will be collecting a lot of data about our behaviors, eye movements, and even our conversations. How that data is used and protected is a crucial question that needs to be addressed.
That's a big one. It raises questions about how we balance the potential benefits of this technology with the potential risks to our privacy and autonomy.
Exactly. And then there's the question of accessibility. Will everyone be able to afford this technology? Or will it create a new digital divide? And what about the environmental impact of producing and disposing of all these devices? These are all critical considerations that we can't ignore.
It seems like with smart glasses, we're not just talking about a new gadget. We're talking about a potential societal shift. The articles you sent touched on some really thought-provoking questions about the broader implications of this technology. What stood out to you as the biggest areas where smart glasses could impact our lives?
Well, one area that really jumps out is communication. Imagine a world where language barriers are practically non-existent, thanks to real-time translation, or a world where you can instantly share what you're seeing with someone else, giving them a first-person perspective. Smart glasses could fundamentally change how we connect and interact with each other.
Yeah, that's an interesting point. It makes me think about how smartphones initially changed communication. Remember when Remember when texting was brand new? Now it's how we communicate with everyone. It's hard to even imagine how smart glasses could further evolve communication. But it seems like the potential is huge.
It is, but it's not just about person-to-person communication. Smart glasses could also transform how we consume information. Imagine walking through a museum and having information about each exhibit appear right before your eyes, or attending a lecture and seeing supplementary graphics and notes overlaid onto the speaker's presentation.
Wow. It's like having instant access to a world of knowledge, tailored to your exact location and interests. That's both incredibly powerful and a little overwhelming to think about.
It is, and it raises questions about how we filter and manage that information. If we're constantly bombarded with notifications and data, will it become even harder to focus and be present in the real world?
Yeah, that's a valid concern. It's almost like we need to develop a new set of digital literacy skills to navigate this augmented reality. We'll need to be mindful of how much information we're taking in and when to disconnect to avoid overload.
Absolutely. And that brings us back to the issue of privacy. If companies are tracking our eye movements and knowing exactly what we're looking at, how do we ensure that data is used responsibly? The potential for misuse is significant, and the ethical implications are complex.
It's a tricky balance, isn't it? On the one hand, we want technology that's personalized and responsive to our needs. But on the other hand, we don't want to sacrifice our privacy in the process. It's like we need a new social contract for the age of smart glasses.
I think you hit the nail on the head. We need to be having these conversations now. Before this technology becomes ubiquitous, we need to be thinking about the rules and regulations that will govern its use and how we can ensure it benefits society as a whole.
Yeah, it's almost like we're collectively shaping the future of technology. Each choice we make. It's a big responsibility. But speaking of responsibility, what about the environmental impact of all this? The articles you mentioned, e-waste is a growing concern.
It's a valid concern, and one that often gets overlooked. In the excitement of new tech, if we're moving towards a world where smart glasses are replacing smartphones, what happens to all those old phones? We need to be thinking about sustainable design, responsible manufacturing practices, and effective recycling programs to minimize the environmental footprint of these devices.
It seems like the transition to smart glasses, if it happens, will have a ripple effect across so many aspects of our lives. It's not just about the technology itself. It's about how we adapt as a society, how we address the ethical challenges, and how we ensure this technology is used for good.
I completely agree. And I think it's important to remember that technology is ultimately a tool. It's up to us to decide how we use that tool and what kind of future we want to build with it.
So if we're potentially on the verge of this massive technological shift, what does it mean for us as individuals? What can we do to navigate this changing landscape?
I think the key is to stay informed and engage. Don't just passively accept the latest tech trends. Actively think about how they align with your values and priorities. Ask questions, challenge assumptions, and be part of the conversation about how we shape the future of technology.
Yeah, it's a lot to wrap our heads around, but it sounds like the message here is clear. We need to be active participants in shaping this technological future, not just passive consumers. What steps can our listeners take today to start thinking critically about smart glasses and their potential impact?
Well, one thing you can do is start paying attention to the developments. In this field, there are tons of resources available, articles, podcasts, even videos showcasing the latest prototypes and advancements. Familiarize yourself with the companies involved, the technologies being developed, and the conversations happening around the ethical and societal implications.
So basically, don't wait for smart glasses to just show up on your doorstep one day. Be proactive in learning about them.
Exactly. And as you learn, start thinking about how this technology could integrate into your own life. What are your needs and priorities? What aspects of smart glasses excite you? And what concerns do you have? This will help you develop your own informed perspective.
That makes sense. It's about being a conscious consumer. Not just blindly following the hype.
Precisely. And don't be afraid to voice your opinions and concerns. Engage in discussions with friends, family, or even online communities. Share what you're learning. Ask questions. And contribute to the larger conversation about how we want this technology to evolve.
It's like we're all part of a massive focus group, shaping the future of smart glasses with our feedback and insights.
I like that analogy. And remember, this isn't just about the technology itself. It's about the future we want to create. Do we want a future where technology enhances our lives, connects us in meaningful ways, and helps us solve global challenges? Or do we want a future where technology exacerbates existing inequalities, erodes our privacy, and distracts us from what truly matters?
It's a powerful question. And it feels like we're at a pivotal moment. The choices we make today about how we develop and adopt smart glasses will have a lasting impact.
Absolutely. And it's a reminder that technology is never neutral. It's shaped by the values and intentions of the people who create and use it. So let's be mindful, let's be engaged, and let's work together to ensure that this technology serves humanity in a positive and meaningful way.
Well said. This deep dive has definitely given me a lot to think about. It's been fascinating exploring the potential of smart glasses, but even more importantly, it's been a reminder that we all have a role to play in shaping the future of technology. Thank you for joining us on the deep dive, and we encourage you to keep exploring, keep questioning, and keep imagining the possibilities.